Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we're diving into something a little different and fun. A natural conversation between two people about their daily routines. But it's not just the usual small talk. This dialogue is full of unique details, quirky habits, and even some hidden emotions. It's the kind of conversation that feels real, like you're overhearing two friends share parts of their lives in a very personal way. As you listen, pay attention to the expressions, the vocabulary, and the flow of their dialogue. This is a great way to learn English in context because the language you'll hear is natural and engaging, the kind people actually use in real life. So, get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's listen in on this authentic and unusual exchange about daily routines. You know what I realized this morning? My routine isn't about getting ready for work. It's about bargaining with myself.
Bargaining? Like negotiations?
Exactly. Speaker one, if you get out of bed now, you can scroll through pictures of dogs and sweaters for 5 minutes before brushing your teeth.
So your willpower comes with bribes.
Absolutely. Do you do that?
Not with dogs and sweaters now. I make deals with coffee. I tell myself, survive the shower and you earn the first sip. Sometimes I even grind the beans at night just to wake up to the smell. It feels like my future self leaves a gift.
That's sweet. My future self mostly leaves dirty mugs in the sink.
Do you wash them before bed?
I stack them like guilty evidence. In the morning, I either deal with them or pretend I don't see them.
That's interesting. I do the opposite. Every night before I sleep, I make sure the kitchen counter is clear. If it's not, my brain keeps buzzing.
So you're the kind of person who can't relax unless things are tidy.
Not everything, just the counter. For some reason, if there's a spoon left out, it feels like the whole world is out of order.
Funny how we fixate on such specific things. For me, it's socks. If I can't find a matching pair, I feel like the day's already against me.
Do you ever wear mismatched ones?
Once. I thought it'd be quirky, like, look at me, free spirit. But all day I felt like an imposter.
See, I don't even wear socks unless I absolutely have to. Maybe routines are just ways of telling ourselves we're in control.
Or ways of hiding from chaos?
Yeah, like my commute. I take the same train car every morning. Not the train, the exact car. I like the fourth one from the front.
Why that one?
Because the doors line up perfectly with the exit stairs at my stop. Saves me 20 seconds.
That's efficient. My commute ritual is less practical. I always stop at the same corner cafe, even though the coffee's mediocre.
So why keep going?
The barista hums while making drinks. Off-key, completely random songs, sometimes lullabies, sometimes 90s pop. It feels like being greeted by a human radio.
That's kind of lovely.
It is. It makes me forget I'm half asleep.
What about evenings? Do you have weird rituals then?
I read manuals.
Manuals? Like how to fix a toaster?
Exactly. Toasters, vacuum cleaners, sometimes old car manuals I find online. I don't need the information, but I like the orderliness. Steps, diagrams, no ambiguity.
That's actually comforting. My evenings are messier. I sketch whatever's on my mind. Last night, I drew a chair with wings.
A flying chair?
Yeah, it made sense at the time.
I like that. I once spent an entire evening arranging my spices alphabetically.
Oh, I tried that. But then I couldn't find cinnamon fast enough and it ruined the whole system.
That's the curse of order. It collapses the first time you need paprika in a hurry.
Exactly. That's why I keep mine grouped by things that go in soup and things that make eggs taste better.
Much more practical. You know, our routines say a lot more about us than we realize.
Like what?
Well, your cafe habit shows you like a touch of unpredictability in the predictable. And my manuals probably mean I'm terrified of uncertainty.
That's not a bad thing. We all need anchors.
True. But sometimes I wonder if routines make me smaller. Like, am I living or just rehearsing?
I think routines are the stage. What we do on them, that's the play. That's a good way of putting it.
You know, maybe the strangest part is how personal these things feel. To anyone else, dusting a counter or whispering to a bookmark would sound silly. But to us, it's survival.
Yeah, like tiny rituals that keep the universe from tipping over.
Or at least keep our universe steady enough to get through the day. You know what struck me today? My mornings feel like a badly directed play. Same props, alarm, toothbrush, kettle, but none of the cues land where they should.
So you're saying your routine lacks stage direction?
Exactly. Some mornings I brush my teeth before I've even opened the blinds. Other times I'm making tea half asleep and forget the tea bag entirely.
That's chaos disguised as routine. I'm the opposite. My mornings are militarized. Alarm at 6:40, shower by 6:50, coffee brewing at 7 sharp.
You sound like you run on railway timetables. Doesn't that get suffocating?
Not really. If the pattern breaks, I feel itchy, like the day's already wobbling.
That itch, I know it. For me, it happens if I leave the house without feeding the crow.
The what?
There's a crow that waits by the lamppost near my building. I started leaving peanuts once, and now it's part of my routine. If I forget, I spend the day convinced it's holding a grudge.
So your mornings hinge on the mood of a crow.
Precisely. And don't laugh, it tilts its head like it's judging me.
Honestly, that's weirder than my sock rule.
Sock rule?
I wear the same rotation of 7 pairs. Monday is gray, Tuesday is navy, Wednesday stripes. If I deviate, the week feels crooked.
That's oddly poetic. Your socks dictate the rhythm of time.
Or maybe it's my way of outsourcing decisions. Too many choices in the world. Let socks be simple.
That makes sense. My version is spoons. I have one I use for coffee every morning, and if someone else touches it, I feel invaded.
A territorial spoon.
Don't mock, it's shaped just right, balanced.
You know, these quirks probably reveal more than we admit.
Like what?
Well, your crow habit. Maybe you like being noticed, even by something non-human. And my socks? Probably proof I'm terrified of improvisation.
Huh. Maybe. I do crave recognition, even if it's from a bird with sharp, judgmental eyes.
See? That's deeper than breakfast talk.
Speaking of breakfast, what's yours?
Oatmeal. Every single day. With a sliced banana.
That's so dull.
Dull is dependable. I don't want surprises before 9 a.m.
My breakfast is a roulette. Some days it's leftover curry, other days just 3 crackers and a guilty conscience.
Curry for breakfast?
Don't knock it. It wakes you faster than any coffee.
True. I guess I fear chaos, where you secretly chase it.
Maybe, though evenings are different. Evenings I collapse into structure, candles, the same playlist, stretching for exactly 15 minutes.
That's ironic. My evenings dissolve completely. I graze through snacks, doom scroll, sometimes reorganize my books by color, just because.
So you're rigid in the morning and loose at night. I'm loose in the morning and rigid at night.
We'd make one balanced person if we merged.
Don't tempt me. Imagine the hybrid. Feeds crows at dawn, eats banana oatmeal, then alphabetizes soup cans for relaxation.
That sounds terrifyingly efficient and deeply odd.
You know what else I realized? These routines, quirky, obsessive, whatever, they're like scaffolding. The world keeps changing, and this is how we hold ourselves steady.
Yeah. Without them, the day feels like it could just unravel.
Do you ever wonder what would happen if we starved? Just refused the script one day?
I tried once. No alarm, no sock rule, no oatmeal. By 10 a.m., I felt like I was dissolving.
Dissolving?
Like I wasn't anchored to anything. I didn't know who I was without the scaffolding.
That's haunting. I think I'd feel the opposite. Like I'd finally hear the quiet behind the noise.
Maybe routines protect us from the quiet.
Or maybe they prepare us for it. Feed a crow, honor a spoon, trust the pattern, so that when silence comes, we're not afraid.
That's almost comforting.
Maybe that's all routines really are. Comfort dressed as repetition. You ever realize how much of your day is dictated by smell?
Smell? Can't say I've thought of it that way.
Seriously, my whole morning depends on the scent of yeast and sugar. If the bakery ovens are late, it feels like my brain never wakes up properly.
So, your clock is your nose.
Exactly. And yours?
Words. I wake up and test myself with one. Today, it was lucid. I whisper it 3 times before brushing my teeth.
That's
Odd? Oddly grounding. Some people meditate. I repeat words until they feel like anchors. And then you go translate for the rest of the day, right? Yes, mostly medical reports and instruction manuals. Unromantic, but steady. Don't you get bored turning other people's sentences into more sentences? Smiles faintly. Not bored. It's like solving puzzles. But sometimes I imagine the lives behind the words. Someone waiting for a diagnosis. Someone building a machine. Translating is my way of eavesdropping without permission.
I like that. Me, I eavesdrop with pastries. Customers bite into something and I watch their faces. A smile, a frown, a pause. It tells me who they are for that second.
You're both interpreters then. You of mouths, me of words.
That sounds far too poetic for folding croissant dough.
But true. Tell me, what's the strangest routine you have at work?
I hum to the bread.
What kind of humming?
Random tunes. Yesterday, it was the theme from some old cartoon. It's not for me, it's for the dough. I swear it rises better when it hears sound.
You treat dough like it's alive.
It is alive. Yeast is breathing. Don't roll your eyes.
I wasn't. I was jealous. My work doesn't breathe. Words just sit there.
Maybe that's why you whisper them awake in the morning.
Maybe.
You ever break your routine?
Rarely. When I do, I feel like I'm standing without skin. You?
Constantly. I get restless. Like yesterday, I swapped the order of everything. Fed the cat before showering, walked to work by a different street. It made the whole day taste different.
That sounds terrifying.
That's the point. It's like shaking the snow globe. For a few hours, nothing's settled.
I crave settled. Maybe too much.
Or maybe I crave unsettled too much. Opposite poles.
What do you do in the evenings?
Depends. Sometimes I sketch people I saw that day. Sometimes I just sit with the cat and invent stories about his secret life. He looks like the type who'd run a black market fish operation if given the chance.
My evenings are stricter. I make a pot of tea, always jasmine, and read one untranslated page of a book in its original language. Last night was Russian. I only understood half, but that's enough.
Do you keep a diary?
In a way, I write down the words I didn't know, a diary of gaps.
That's beautiful. My diary is just flower smudges and doodles.
Maybe they're the same. Yours records presence, mine absence.
You ever feel lonely in all that order?
Often. But the routine hides it. If I keep moving, word to word, T to T, I don't have to sit with the silence.
I drown silence with noise. The cat, the humming, the crack of baguette crust. But sometimes I wonder if I'm just scared of hearing myself think.
So you mask emptiness with sound. I mask it with structure.
Maybe most people do.
What's the moment you look forward to most each day?
Honestly, the second before the bakery doors open, the whole room smells like sugar and heat, but nobody's touched it yet. It's like holding your breath before diving.
For me, it's when I finally understand a word I've been circling for hours. The click of recognition. Tiny victories.
You know, if we swapped routines for one day, I think I'd lose my mind. Or maybe find it.
And I'd be buried under dough, humming tunelessly, waiting for something to rise. But maybe we'd learn something. Or maybe we'd just prove that who we are is stitched into what we do.
I think about that a lot. How routines shape us, but also hide us.
Yes, like curtains we choose to pull shut every morning.
Still, I like the idea that someone might overhear us right now, thinking, wow, these two are bizarre. Bizarre is better than invisible. Agreed. You ever noticed how mornings can betray you? Like the alarm rings and you think you're in control, but then suddenly it's noon and you're eating cold cereal straight from the box. That happens to you often? More than I'll admit. My mornings are like experiments with no hypotheses. Sometimes I paint before breakfast, other times I end up rearranging the spice rack.
Rearranging spices sounds oddly productive for someone who skips breakfast.
It's fake productivity. I alphabetize paprika and turmeric just to avoid facing blank paper. What about you?
My mornings are precise. Wake up 6:15, glass of water, 20 push-ups, then coffee brewed with 17 grams of beans.
17? Not 18?
17. I weighed it once and it felt right. Now it's ritual. If it's off, the whole day hums wrong.
You're like a metronome disguised as a human. Or maybe just a man clinging to order so he doesn't fall apart. That's honest. Do you really feel like you'd fall apart?
Some days, the routine is armor. Without it, I'm exposed.
My lack of routine is my armor. Chaos keeps me moving, like if I plan too tightly, I'd suffocate.
So you run from structure, I run toward it. Strange.
Not strange, just opposite defenses.
Maybe. What's the oddest part of your day? Feeding the pigeons at 4.
4 a.m.? 4 p.m. They gather outside my window. If I don't feed them, they stare. Honestly, their judgment is heavier than my landlord's.
So your afternoons are governed by pigeons.
Exactly. Yours?
Folding shirts. Every evening after work, I refold the ones in my drawer, even if I never wore them.
That's obsessive.
It's soothing. The symmetry calms me. My mother used to iron my socks when I was a kid. Maybe it comes from there.
That's both sweet and unsettling.
I know. I catch myself mid-fold and wonder, is this normal? But then again, what is?
Normal is overrated. I talk to the kettle while it boils.
What do you say?
Encouragement mostly. Like, come on, you're nearly there. Like it's running a marathon.
That's endearing.
Or pathetic. Depends on the angle.
Do you ever get tired of your own patterns?
Constantly. But they're stitched into me. Even when I rebel, I end up creating a new pattern. Like last week, I swore I'd stop snacking at midnight. Instead, I replaced cookies with carrots. Now it's just orange crumbs at 12:05.
My rebellion is skipping the push-ups. I spend the whole day guilty as if my shoulders know I betrayed them.
Maybe that guilt is proof you care about yourself in some twisted way.
Or proof I'm trapped. Or both.
You ever wonder who we'd be without these routines?
All the time. I think without my chaos, I'd feel empty, like I'm afraid of silence.
And I think without my order, I'd dissolve, like I'm afraid of noise.
So we're mirrors, but inverted.
Exactly. You know, if someone overheard us right now, they'd think we're bizarre, talking about pigeons and push-ups like it's religion.
But that's the thing. Routine is religion, in a way, daily worship of control or chaos. That's oddly beautiful or terrifying.
Both, again, life seems to always be both.
True. Maybe that's why we cling to these habits, because they make contradictions easier to bear.
Yeah, without them, we'd have to face the raw mess of existing. And honestly, I'd rather talk to my kettle.
And I'd rather count out 17 grams of beans.
Then I guess we're both exactly where we need to be.